Night City is full of legends, rebels, mercenaries, and corpses of those who thought they could take on the system. But among them, one name is whispered with fear and hatred: Adam Smasher. A man who wasn't just reborn in Chrome, but became the very essence of it. How did a street thug from Brooklyn become Arasaka's deadliest enforcer? What twisted path turned him into a cybernetic nightmare capable of wiping out entire armies? And is he truly the strongest force in Night City's bloody history? To understand Adam Smasher, we have to dive deep into his past, the scars of his childhood, the mission that destroyed him, and the machine that he eventually became. This is the untold story of Adam Smasher, and it's as brutal as the man himself. Now let's rewind to 1991, New York City, a far cry from the neon chaos of Night City, but already a dog-eat-dog world. Adam was born into the rough streets of Brooklyn, a kid without a safety net, or frankly, much of a moral compass. His early years, not exactly heartwarming. His family, unremarkable at best, and by all accounts, neglectful. He grew up in a tiny apartment filled with more arguments than affection. By the time he hit grade school, Adam had already learned a key lesson: violence gets you the results you want. Teachers described him as uncontrollable, hostile, and likely to end up in a cell, or worse, dead. Even as a kid, Adam was obsessed with strength, fists, not feelings. While other kids were playing ball, Adam was testing how much punishment his knuckles could take before they bled. Spoiler, a lot. As a teenager, Adam fully embraced the chaos. He dropped out of high school at 16, ditching books for back alley brawls. His role models weren't heroes or dreamers. They were local enforcers and street thugs who taught him that fear was power. He spent his days fighting, stealing, and intimidating anyone who stood in his way. By the 2000s, Smasher would go on to join the US Army as a soldier, although this wouldn't last very long, as Adam will get discharged a few years into his service for quote-unquote bad misconduct. Because of this, Smasher decided to put the training and skills he had learned in the army into good use, and by the early 2010s, Adam was running with gangs, freelancing as a street enforcer, and building his reputation one broken jaw at a time. A simple creed guided him: if you can't kill me, you don't deserve to live. Subtle, right? Adam didn't just survive the streets, he thrived in them. Fast forward to the late 2010s, and Adam had become a mercenary for hire, working the dirtiest jobs the underworld could offer. Smuggling, assassinations, extortion were just another Tuesday for him. But his raw brutality didn't go unnoticed. Rumors of his work caught the attention of mid-tier fixers, and he began climbing the ranks of mercenary circles, not through skill, but through sheer terror and devastation. Adam was no tech wizard or tactician. He didn't care about finesse. His success came from being relentless. People who worked with him described him as an unstoppable force of nature, someone who didn't back down, even when the odds were laughably against him. It wasn't long before he gained a reputation as a blunt instrument though, destructive but definitely effective. He wasn't a planner or a thinker. He was the guy you called when you wanted something or someone gone. No questions asked at all. But this approach, while successful, eventually led him to disaster. In 2018, Adam Smasher took on a contract that was supposed to be a routine smuggling job. Him and a ragtag group of mercenaries were hired to transport stolen goods through hostile territory by a shadowy fixer who clearly had no fucking idea what they were doing. Everything went sideways when they ran into a heavily armed Militech convoy. Adam, in true fashion, decided that retreating wasn't much of an option for him. He fought like a man possessed, taking out several Militech troops in close hand-to-hand combat, but it wasn't enough. Midway through the skirmish, a Militech officer fired a whole rocket directly at Adam. The explosion didn't just knock him down, it obliterated him. Most of his team didn't even bother checking for survivors. They assumed he was dead because, well, anyone would have been. But this wasn't anyone. This was Adam Smasher we're talking about. What was left of him was barely alive, charred flesh, broken bones, and shattered pride. His team eventually carried him, or what was left of him, back to his house, where Adam wanted nothing more than to be taken out of his misery. But that's when Arasaka decided to step in. Now, why did Arasaka care about a washed-up mercenary who just got turned into ground beef? Simple: potential. Adam's brutality and unwavering loyalty to power made him the perfect candidate for Arasaka's experiments in cybernetic augmentation. They took what little was left of him and rebuilt him into something terrifying, a full-body conversion cyborg. By 2020, Adam Smasher was no longer human. He was a living weapon, a walking arsenal designed to kill and keep killing. His body was nearly indestructible, his strength unmatched, and his mind completely unburdened by morality. Arasaka didn't just save him, they unleashed him. From the moment he stepped out of Arasaka's labs, Adam Smasher became the corporation's deadliest enforcer. Over the next few decades, his kill count absolutely skyrocketed. With exact numbers hard to pin down, conservative estimates put it at well over 1,000 kills, and those are just the documented kills. Civilians, resistance fighters, rival mercs, it didn't matter. Smasher didn't care what job he was given, as long as he was getting paid. That was all that mattered to him. One of his most infamous atrocities was the 2025 Badlands massacre, where he wiped out an entire nomad camp of over 200 people, including women and children, all because they refused to pay Arasaka tribute. For Adam, murder wasn't just a job, it was fun. He thrived from the chaos, earning a reputation as a monster who didn't just kill his enemies, but instead completely annihilated them. If you've played Cyberpunk 2077 or watched Cyberpunk Edgerunners, then you know firsthand just how terrifying Adam Smasher is. His appearances are few, but every single one leaves an impact that sticks with you. Let's break them down. First, let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077. The first time we truly encounter Adam Smasher is during the prologue when Johnny Silverhand raids Arasaka Tower. The tension is palpable as Smasher effortlessly dispatches Rogue's crew like they're nothing more than insects. He's not just the bodyguard for Arasaka, he's a one-man army who makes Johnny, a Night City legend, look mortal in comparison. Then comes the final confrontation during V's campaign. Whether you face him during the Arasaka raid or side with Rogue, it's clear that Smasher is designed to be more than a boss fight. He's a test of everything you've learned. And the kicker? Smasher doesn't fear death at all. For him, fighting V isn't about survival. It's sport. He mocks you, questions your resolve, and shows no hesitation in turning you into just another name on his kill list. Now let's shift to Cyberpunk Edgerunners. In the series' climactic finale, Adam Smasher takes center stage once again when David Martinez, the show's protagonist, tries to make a final stand against Arasaka. Smasher is there to remind everyone just how small they are compared to his mechanical might. The battle between David and Smasher isn't even a contest. Despite David's heroic effort and his use of the powerful Sandevistan, Smasher crushes him like it's nothing. It's a brutal reminder that Night City doesn't care about your dreams or ideals. Against someone like Adam Smasher, raw ambition means absolutely nothing. It's absolute bullshit. It's the embodiment of the corporate machine, soulless, relentless, and unstoppable. What makes these encounters so chilling is how they strip away the illusion of control. Adam Smasher isn't just a villain, he's the inevitable consequence of a world dominated by corporations. He doesn't fight for ideals or personal grudges, he fights because that's what he was made to do. Now let's answer the big question. Is Adam Smasher the strongest person in Night City's history? Physically, the answer is almost certainly yes. His cybernetic body makes him nearly indestructible, and his sheer firepower is unmatched. In a straight fight, very few could even scratch him. But strongest doesn't just mean brute force. Adam lacks strategy, empathy, and loyalty. His strength is his greatest weakness. It makes him predictable, overconfident, and easy to manipulate. As terrifying as he is, Adam Smasher is ultimately a tool, a weapon wielded by others. That's what makes him so dangerous. He doesn't care who he kills or why, he just follows orders. Now for the philosophical question, is Adam Smasher even human anymore? The answer depends on how you define humanity. After his full-body conversion, Adam retained little more than his brain and a handful of organic tissues. Everything else, the muscles, the bones, the skin, is synthetic. It doesn't eat, doesn't sleep, or feel the way a normal human being does. Some argue that what's left of Adam Smasher is just a husk, a machine, nothing more than a program running on what used to be a person. But here's the unsettling part. Adam Smasher still has desires. He enjoys killing. He revels in his power. He takes pride in his work, if you could call it that. Does that make him human, or just a machine pretending to be one? It's a question Night City's philosophers and survivors will be debating for a long time. What's clear though is that whatever humanity Adam Smasher once had is buried deep, if it exists at all. In his quest to become stronger, he didn't just lose his body, he lost his soul. Today, Adam Smasher remains a symbol of everything wrong with Night City: corporate greed, unchecked violence, and the loss of humanity in the name of power. His story is a reminder that strength without purpose is just destruction. So is he the strongest? Maybe. Is he the most dangerous? Definitely, without question. But the real question is, how long will it be until someone stronger takes him down? Maybe you, Tune, you can. Thanks for watching, Tunes. Don't forget to subscribe for more cyberpunk lore, and remember, Night City's legends are written in blood. Let's just hope yours isn't next. Bye.